Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about 7 signs the law of attraction is working for you. All right, I'm really excited to do this video. It's a little bit different from some of the other videos that I've done, but what I've noticed is that you guys really like my law of attraction playlist. So the playlist that I have that talks about how to reprogram your subconscious beliefs, I have a video on there of how I manifested my husband. I talked about when I got my first Reiki massage. Like, those videos have been doing really well. And so I wanted to give you more of the videos that you enjoy. And so I wanted to share a video of 7 signs that the law of attraction is working for you. I've already talked a little bit about how I was introduced to the law of attraction, but just in case this is your very first video, let me go ahead and give you the backstory. There was a friend of mine who she became a really good friend, and I started seeing how she started getting all these things in her life. Like, she said she wanted to move to a different state. She ended up moving to a different state. She said she wanted to be a model. She ended up being a model. Like, all these things that she wanted, she started doing. And I remember going over to her place one day and seeing a vision board that she had, and it was beautiful. There were all these different pictures and words and images. And I asked her about it, and she said, "Have you read the book, The Secret?" And I said, "No, I've never read it, haven't heard of it." And she said, "Well, you should definitely check it out." So instead of reading the book, I decided to watch the video, because that's what I prefer to do, is video. And if you're here on YouTube, you probably prefer video as well. So I decided to watch the movie instead. And I was completely blown away by this idea that you can just speak out your desires and that they would just come to life. And then I started getting a little bit deeper into it and realized that it's something that I've already known. It's something that I used to do as a kid a lot. It's something that's my birthright. It's something that's biblical. Like, it's all of these things that I kind of already knew deep down inside, but it wasn't until I saw the movie that it really was made clear to me. And over the past couple years, I've been using the law of attraction, manifestation, speaking my desires out, and doing everything in order to really design my life. Now, I've talked about lifestyle design just a little bit, but this is truly what I feel like is lifestyle design. I manifested my husband. I have a video on that if you haven't watched it already, where I specifically, down to his specific traits, I wrote out exactly what I wanted, and I got it. And I'm a huge believer in the law of attraction. I'm a huge believer in manifesting your life. And so I want to help you on this journey. If this is something that you want to do and something that you're in the process of doing, from somebody who has done it several times, what does it feel like and what does it look like? Like, how do you know that it's actually working? I know that sometimes it can be a little daunting when you say you want something and then days go by, weeks go by, sometimes years go by, and you're like, well, what's going on? This thing is not working. You're like, is this on? So here are the 7 signs that the law of attraction is working for you. Number 1, you feel sick. Now, why would you start feeling sick when something good is supposed to be happening for you? Well, it's a matter of your body starting to release toxins. So when you are attracting something good into your life, in order to make room for the good, you've got to push out the bad often. Not all the time, but sometimes. And so this is one sign potentially that happens when you can tell the law of attraction is working for you. And this actually happens to me. So sometimes I call it the calm before the storm, or I know that there's something that's good that's just about to happen for me. If all of a sudden, things just start going wrong for some reason. I'm like, what is going on? There's chaos. And a lot of times that is because there's just lots of shifts and movement, and there's energy being moved around. And so for your body, that can happen for your body. So if you ever feel sick, if you've requested something and you spoke something into existence and said you wanted it, but then you got sick all of a sudden, or, after a couple of weeks, you suddenly get sick, that's a sign that it's actually working for you. But you won't know that it's a sign until the thing actually comes into play. So it's a little bit frustrating, because you could just be sick just because you're sick. But a lot of times that will happen. You'll start feeling sick, or there'll be some sort of chaos or some sort of something that happens in your life that seems like it's not working, but it actually is, because it's pushing out all the things, all the negative energy, toxins that have been in your body, and things that have to be released first in order for you to step into that manifestation. Second thing, and this one is huge, and I had no idea. I actually recently learned this one, but the second sign that the law of attraction is working for you is if you die in a dream. Now, This was really scary for me because if you've ever died in a dream, it's jarring. It's very shocking. And I'll tell you guys about the dream that I actually died in, which was months and months and months ago. And I was in a car and I was driving in a car. And I remember I was sitting in the driver's seat and this guy rolls up in a car beside me and he says something. I forget exactly what he says. And he points a gun at me and he shoots me. And it was like pow, pow. And then I woke up just like that. And I woke up so shocked, like my heart was beating. And I got so scared because I was like, did I just see the way that I'm going to die? Like, is it going to be violent? Like all this stuff. And then I started really like doing more research. And honestly, I just went to Google and I was like, die in a dream. And I found this video by Aaron Doty. And he talks about stepping into a new version of yourself. And typically when you die in a dream, that's you stepping into a new version of yourself. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's it. And it's true. It was like the old me had just got killed off and now is stepping into that new version of me, the new person who is able to accept all these things and things that I want to manifest. And when you think about it, it's like the things that you have now, if you were to be that person that you were in the past, you probably wouldn't be able to handle what you have now. For example, if I were to be that LaTisha that I was several years ago, this was back in 2008, I want to say 2008, 2009. So like 10 years ago, if I were to be her, I likely wouldn't have the same amount of money that I have right now because she wasn't good with money. She spent all the time. She did impulse shopping. She bought everything on credit. And the LaTisha that I am now is much more responsible with money. So that old me had to die off. And you don't necessarily have to die in a dream in order for the old you to die off, but it's a sign. If that ever happens to you, don't be scared. It's a sign that the law of attraction is working for you. Okay. The third way is you start feeling really good. So the third sign that the law of attraction is working for you is you actually start feeling really good. This can happen right away, or it can actually happen gradually. The example that I'll give for you guys and the story that I can provide for you is there was one time when I was so let me just go back to the manifestation of my husband. And I was actually kind of depressed like right before it because I was turning 30. I really wanted to get married. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm getting too old now. And which is crazy now that I think about it because I definitely don't feel old at this point. But I was really, really feeling down. And then like a couple months passed and it was like all of a sudden I just started feeling really good. And I started feeling really like excited to just be who I was. I was running on the weekends and I remember my body started slimming down. Like I felt really good about the way that I looked. I felt really good. And it was like that next month that we met at the conference. And so if you start feeling really good, that's a sign that the law of attraction is working for you. All right. The fourth sign that the law of attraction is working for you is you start dreaming in future tense. Now, this is a little bit different from visualization. Typically what I do is right before bed, I start thinking about the things that I want to bring about. It's actually a way for you to manifest faster. If you've watched my video about that, or if you've watched my video on how to fall asleep faster, those are both ways to bring your manifestations about and shrink the timeline. But if you start dreaming in a future tense, meaning you actually were asleep and you happen to see something that is the thing that you want and it's not in your physical, but it actually happens in the dream, that's a sign that the law of attraction is working for you. Basically what that means that your subconscious brain, right? So you got your two brains, you got your conscious brain, which is what I'm speaking with right now, which is what, I'm able to do all this stuff is my conscious brain. The words that I'm saying is my conscious brain. Then you have my subconscious brain, which is moving my hands and like sitting here and breathing. Like I'm not thinking about how do I need to breathe right now? That's your subconscious brain. So the subconscious brain has accepted that manifestation is going to come to pass and it's going to do everything in its power to make it come to pass. If you start dreaming in a future tense, that's how you know the law of attraction is working for you because it means that your subconscious brain is on board. Perfect example of this is I recently started a new diet plan because one of my goals is to step on stage as a bikini competitor and have like a slim waist. And in this dream, I had a dream that my waist was like super slim, and I turned around and it like literally disappeared. So like I twisted, kind of like how they do in the on stage. I twisted, but it literally disappeared when I twisted. And I remember I texted my coach and I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, I just had a dream that my waist literally disappeared. And I was like, it's my subconscious mind. And it is. It's your subconscious mind has accepted it as fact. And now like it's going to do that automatic thing that it does. The same way that it helps you breathe and move your hands without you having to say, hey, move. It's going to do that thing. So it's going to help you with those habits. It's going to, like, you won't have the same cravings. You won't have the same, like, it's on board basically. So if you start dreaming in a future tense and your subconscious mind is on board with it, that's how you know the law of attraction is working for you. The fifth sign that you know the law of attraction is working for you is you start seeing the same numbers repeatedly. Now, there are different numbers, and I'm not a numerologist, and I'm not going to go into like what all the different numbers mean. But if you start seeing the same numbers repeatedly, typically that means that you are getting a message. If you see, for example, I started seeing 911 over and over and over again. And it was like, it wasn't just like the clock was 911. It was like numbers on like random stuff. When I was at CrossFit and I looked up at the clock to see how much time was left, it said 911. So that was a number that I was seeing repeatedly. Also recently I've started seeing 4444 repeatedly. And that's a number for me. I usually see 1111, and that's like a popular one. And a lot of people see that. And it's something that I've been seeing often. But you know, when you start seeing those different numbers repeatedly, it's typically like, it's a sign that like, you're on the right track. If you look at like the different definitions of the numbers, usually it means like you're getting a message, you're on the right track, you're meant to take action on something. So take a look and see like what your specific numbers mean, the ones that you're seeing. But if you start seeing them over and over and over again, that's a sign that the law of attraction is working for you. The sixth sign that the law of attraction is working for you is that you go back to your roots. Essentially, you start becoming childlike. And by this, I don't mean becoming childish, but childlike in the sense of you have a sense of wonder. You are excited about the day. You are like, you get more creative. You are more curious. You start asking questions and making friends as if you were a kid. Like you just start doing things without the stress and the drag of being an adult. And when that happens, you know that the law of attraction is working for you because you're more playful and you're actually in a better receiving mode. So as children, children, they don't have jobs, right? So you don't have to go to work. You're not forced to like cook your own food. You don't have to be an adult. And so you're able to receive because that's what babies do. They cry and they get fed, or they like poop and someone changes them. So it's like when you go back to being more childlike and realizing that you're just like able to receive the same way that a child is, that's how you know that the law of attraction is working for you. And that realization usually comes at a subconscious level, which is why you'll start behaving childlike, not childish, but childlike. Usually for me, what happens is I get more playful with people and I start kind of making jokes. So for example, I went to the rec center the other day and there was an invitation for a party. And I looked at it and I was like, it's closing. The rec center is closing at 9 because there's a party. And she said, no, that's for, city employees only. And I said, oh, it's because I wasn't invited. That's why I didn't know about the party. And she started laughing. And like, that's not something that I normally do. Like normally I don't do the whole extra like giggle jokes and stuff like that. But it's a sign that like when you're becoming playful, when you're doing things in a childlike fashion without giving it like assigning any stress to it or any stigma or any weight to it. That's how you know the law of attraction is working for you. And the seventh sign the law of attraction is working for you is you make a new friend. Now, the reason that I added this one is because typically we receive through other people. So for example, if you're saying, I really want $1,000, I really want $1,000, it's unlikely, it's not probable that $1,000 in a big bag of money is just going to fall down into your lap. It's possible, right? Because anything is possible, but it's not probable. Typically what's going to happen is you might get a check in the mail from like an old apartment you used to live at and they realized they owed you money. So they mailed you a check, or a friend of yours who was like, hey, this was put on my heart, and they like give you $1,000. or you happen to go to your bank and they were like, hey, we made an error and here's $1,000. So usually it's stuff like that where it still comes without you having to really do anything for it, but it's less likely of it a bag of money falling in your lap. And so when you make a new friend, that's how you know the law of attraction is working for you, because that means that you've made a new connection and that person has other connections, and it's just one additional way for what you want and what you want to desire to manifest to come into your life. So when you start making new friends, that's when you know the law of attraction is working for you. You're more open. You're more willing to accept the things in your life, and all those good things are going to flow to you. Now, I do have a bonus one because it's not necessarily a number 8, but it's definitely a bonus. And it is this. You know the law of attraction is working for you when you stop playing life on hard. And I wanted to include this to remind you that it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be a struggle. It doesn't have to be stressful. Like, life does not have to be this thing that is just this slog and it's like so frustrating. You can design your life. You can truly choose your days. You can create your very own version of a lavish life. Like, you don't have to play life on hard. And once you choose that for yourself, you'll know that the law of attraction is working for you, because you choose to stop playing life on hard and you choose to play it on easy. Choose to receive, choose to give, choose to love, choose to receive love. And that's how you know that you've become more childlike. You'll start making new friends and you'll start feeling really good, and you'll know that the law of attraction is working for you. I want to share more law of attraction success stories. I do have one, like I said, I shared on how I manifested my husband, but I do want to share more stories, and I would love to hear from you. Like, what ways has the law of attraction worked for you? This is more of the high level stuff that I talk about with my clients, my 5-figure clients. These are clients who decided to work with me over several months so that we can really clear out any blocks that are blocking them from creating their very own version of a lavish life. And if you're a coach and you'd like more details on how to book your very own 5-figure clients, I do have a training about that I will leave in the details of the description box. Or if you want to reach out to me so we can work together on helping you become more attractive, then you can click the link that's in the description as well. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.